All right, today in our explainer, we're diving into the absolutely incredible story of Santosh Yadav. This is a woman who didn't just challenge expectations. She completely shattered them to stand quite literally on top of the world. Her journey is just this amazing lesson in pure determination. Just let that sink in for a second. That's not just some cool fact, it's a world record. But honestly, the story of how she did it is even more mind-blowing than the record itself. So how on earth does a girl from a small traditional village get to the highest peak on the planet? Not once, but twice. Okay, so let's get into it. Our story starts in this small village, Joniawas in Haryana. Now, this was a place where culturally the birth of a son was a huge celebration. And into this world, Santosh was born. The sixth child, the only daughter after 5 sons. The stage was pretty much set for a very conventional life. But yeah, Santosh had other ideas. I mean, you can see the difference right away. On one hand, you had the tradition. Traditional Indian dresses were the norm. But Santosh, she chose to wear shorts. And while most girls were expected to just attend the local village school, she was already fighting for something more, for a real education. And this wasn't some loud, dramatic rebellion. It was this quiet, steady refusal to walk a path that just wasn't hers. This quote, this is everything. It tells you so much about her mindset, right? This was never about just being a rebellious teenager. It was a core belief. She basically decided that if her choices were logical and right, then it was the world that had to adjust to her, not the other way around. That single idea would fuel everything she did from then on. So the big question is, how does a young girl actually stand up to an entire system? For Santosh, it wasn't about shouting or making a scene. It was all about this quiet, unbreakable determination and some really smart strategic moves. She just started building her own road, one stone at a time. Look at how she did it. It was so methodical. First, at 16, an age when everyone expected her to get married, she just quietly went and enrolled herself in a school in Delhi. When her parents, predictably, refused to pay, she didn't argue. She just calmly told them, okay, I'll get a part-time job to pay for it myself. I mean, what do you do when faced with that kind of resolve? They had to give in. She wasn't asking for permission. She was showing them it was happening, with or without them. So after winning that battle for her education, she ends up at Maharani College in Jaipur. And it was right there, from her hostel room window, that her life was about to take another huge, unexpected turn. It all started with just, curiosity. From her room, she could see these villagers climbing the nearby Aravalli hills, and then they just disappear over the top. Where were they going? What was up there? Finally, one day, she couldn't take the mystery anymore. She went to check it out for herself, found a group of mountaineers, and bam, she was hooked. In that one moment, she knew she'd found her thing. And she just dove right in. She enrolled at the super prestigious Nehru Institute of Mountaineering without even going home first. She just sent her dad an apology letter later. And it became obvious really fast that she was a total natural. She had this incredible physical stamina, this insane ability to handle the cold and the high altitudes, and most of all, she had this iron will that just floored everybody, including her instructors. So all of it, the quiet rebellion, the fight for school, that iron will, it was all now focused on one single, massive, audacious goal: getting to the summit of Mount Everest. And her rise was just meteoric. I mean, get this, just 4 years after she even discovered what mountaineering was, she's standing on the summit of Everest. In doing so, she became the youngest woman in the world to achieve it. But she wasn't finished. Unbelievably, just a year later, she joins another expedition and does it again, setting a world record as the only woman to have climbed Everest twice. Can you even begin to imagine that feeling? She talked about it like it was this spiritual experience, that the sheer size of the moment, the enormity of it, took a while to even sink in. And then, standing there, literally on the roof of the world, she unfurled the Indian flag. She said it filled her with this pride for her country that was just impossible to describe. But here's the thing about Santosh Yadav's story. It's not just about the climb. Her legacy is so much bigger than just the record she broke. It's really about what she stands for and what she did once she had everyone's attention. This number right here, This tells you a whole other side of the story. She wasn't just there to conquer mountains. She was there to protect them. She was a fierce environmentalist. She personally collected and carried down 500 kilograms of trash from the Himalayas. That shows such a deep respect for the very environment she was so driven to explore.
So when you pull it all together, what you see is this completely unique person, a record-breaking mountaineer, a pioneer for women, the recipient of one of India's highest honors, the Padma Shri, and a dedicated environmentalist. She didn't just climb mountains. In a way, she moved them.
Her story, going from that small village all the way to the highest point on the planet, it's just this powerful reminder of what quiet, rational determination can do. It proves that so often the biggest barriers we face are just the ones we accept without question. And it really leaves us with a pretty powerful thought. What mountains, real or not, are just waiting for us to climb?